You know the feeling, right? You're stuck in what I like to call the attraction puzzle. You're replaying conversations in your head, trying to figure out if that smile was just a friendly smile or something more. It's this universal kind of dizzying feeling of just not being sure, trying to read signals that are, let's be honest, often super confusing.
And the stakes feel so high, don't they? I mean, on one hand, there's that just awful, cringe-worthy moment where you totally misread the situation. And on the other hand, there's that quiet regret of wondering, what if? What if you missed a genuine connection because you were just too nervous to see the signs for what they were?
So, the big question is, how can you be sure? How can you get some real clarity here? Well, that is exactly what we are about to do. We are going to break it all down, the signals, the science, everything, so you can finally feel a little more confident.
Okay, so here's what we're going to cover. We'll start with the body's secret language, all those little things people do without even thinking. Then we'll talk about the actions that speak way louder than words. But you're definitely going to want to stick around to the end because that's when we'll get to the golden rule. It's the one thing that really helps you know when it's the real deal.
All right, section 1, the body's secret language. Let's talk about what they're saying without speaking a single word. You know, our bodies have a funny way of telling the truth, even when we're trying not to.
So first up, there's this scientific concept called proxemics. It's basically the study of personal space. And it's a huge clue. Think about it. When you like someone, you just naturally want to be closer to them. It's this powerful, instinctual thing we do. So experts have actually mapped this out into 4 zones of space. You've got your public and social zones. That's for, strangers and casual acquaintances. But the real magic happens in the personal and intimate zones. When someone willingly and consistently steps into your personal bubble, especially that super close intimate zone, they are sending a massive signal of comfort and, interest.
Okay, here's a super interesting one that most people miss. Don't just look at where their head is pointed. Look at their torso. Seriously, where is their belly button pointing? You can turn your head to be polite in a conversation, but where your body is aimed, that's where your real focus is. If they're squared up, facing you directly, they are all in.
And then, of course, there's eye contact. This isn't just about looking at someone. When you hold a gaze, your body literally starts producing oxytocin. You've probably heard of it. It's the cuddle hormone, the connection hormone. It creates this real feeling of bonding. So if someone is holding your gaze just a little longer than normal, their brain is subconsciously trying to build that chemical connection with you. Pretty cool, right?
Have you ever noticed someone subtly copying you? Like you lean on one elbow and a second later they do too? That's called mirroring. It's their brain's totally unconscious way of saying, hey, we're on the same page, we're in sync. It's a classic sign of someone trying to build rapport.
And last but not least in the body language department, preening. You know what I'm talking about. All of a sudden they're fixing their hair, smoothing down their shirt, adjusting their watch. It's this totally primal animal kingdom kind of move that basically screams, hey, I want to look good for you.
Okay, so that's all the unconscious stuff. But what about the things they choose to do? Let's move on to section 2, the actions that are way, way louder than words. These are the deliberate choices they make.
So we're talking about things that go way beyond just being polite, like finding little excuses to make brief physical contact, or, trying to pull you away from the group to talk one-on-one, asking you questions that are actually deep, not just small talk. But listen up, because these next 2 are huge. When they remember some tiny, random detail you told them weeks ago, that's not just a good memory. That's a sign they are really listening. And introducing you to their friends? Whoa, that is a big deal. That's basically an audition to see how you fit into their life.
And there's some real psychology behind this. Psychologist Mert Shaker points out that when someone wants to meet your friends and family, it's not just about being social. It's about wanting to build a real relationship, something with deeper, stronger foundations. It shows they're thinking about more than just the 2 of you.
Okay, we've gone through body language, we've covered deliberate actions, now it's time for the big one. Section 3, the golden rule. This is what I promised you at the start, the one framework you really need to put all the pieces together.
So, what is it? After everything we've talked about, what's the one sign that matters most? The one thing that cuts through all the noise? Well, the truth is, it's not one sign. And honestly, that's the most important secret of all.
See, the real answer isn't about finding a single clue. It's about seeing three things all happening together, locking into place like a combination lock.
And we call this framework the 3 C's of attraction. First up is clusters. One sign by itself means nothing. A quick glance could be anything, but a glance, plus they lean in closer, plus a light touch on your arm, now that's a cluster of signs. The second C is context. Where is this happening? A touch in a packed, noisy bar is totally different than a touch during a quiet one-on-one conversation. Context is everything. And the third C is congruence. This one's crucial. Do their words match their body language? Are they saying one thing but their body is saying another? When you get all three, a cluster of signs, happening in the right context, where their words and actions are congruent, that is when you can feel confident you're seeing real attraction.
All right, let's wrap this all up. Here's your final takeaway.
So here's the bottom line. You have to stop looking for a single magic sign. It just doesn't exist. Instead, start looking for a pattern of behavior. Don't obsess over one little touch in a crowded room. Look for the touch and the lean in and the deep eye contact during a real conversation. Don't just take their words at face value. Look for words that actually match what their body and their actions are telling you. When the whole story adds up, that's when you'll really know.
So now that you have this new lens, this new way of decoding things, just for a second, who comes to mind?
I really hope this explainer helps you navigate things with a bit more clarity. And hey, if you want more explainers just like this one that help decode the world around you, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Thanks for tuning in.